Today I would like to talk about pumps. That is probably one of the biggest questions new moms have is, when do I start pumping? Should I start pumping? What kind of pump is right for me? Lots of questions surrounding pumps, and there are a lot of options out there for pumps. So when you think about pumping, you want to think first of all about what is your reason for pumping. So for a lot of moms, it's going back to work, going back to school. For whatever reason, you're going to be separated from your baby, and you're going to want to be able to pump your milk and put it in a bottle for whoever's taking care of your baby. For some moms, one end of the spectrum, they plan to exclusively pump. So they do not want to put their baby to their breast, but they are dedicated to getting their milk into their baby, which is at the end of the day a great goal. Some moms are just going to be gone once in a while. Maybe they're working from home, maybe they're staying home with their baby, and they may just need to pump a bottle for an occasional going out shopping, going on a date. Just have a little bit of flexibility. So for the moms who are, first of all, start with exclusively pumping, definitely would recommend the old standard plug-in pump. That is going to be your best bet. And a double electric pump is going to be very, very important. For the moms who are going back to work, I probably also would advise a plug-in pump. Now there's hands-free pumps or wireless pumps that actually just sit right in your bra. Those are pretty new out there. A lot of moms find them very handy and very convenient. They are. Most moms, though, do not feel that they're quite as effective at emptying the breast. And when you are really heavily relying on a pump for your milk production and your milk supply, you really want a pump that's going to effectively empty your breasts. So I would not recommend a wireless pump for those moms who are planning to exclusively pump. For a lot of moms, though, they pump when they're away from their baby and they breastfeed when they're at home. If that's your plan and your baby is nursing well and frequently when you're at home, you probably could get away with a hands-free pump. That probably would be fine for that purpose. I probably still would have a plug-in pump as a backup, but you could get away with that and probably would be enough to just keep that stimulation going when you're away from your baby. Hand pump. Super handy, super simple, very convenient. Can only pump one side at a time, but some moms find these really handy for maybe those times where your baby nurses one breast and is real sleepy after that, isn't interested in the second breast. That breast is overflowing and uncomfortable. That might be a reason just to slip that hand pump on for a few minutes just to give you a little relief. It's going to be much more convenient than pulling out your electric pump. Haakaa is something that's fairly new out there. The goal of the Haakaa really is to catch what's called letdown. And this will make a whole lot more sense after your baby's born. But once that volume increases, those breasts are going to be under a certain amount of pressure. And when you've got your baby on one breast, the other breast is just going to leak and leak and leak. And some brilliant mom out there said, hey, I don't want that milk to go to waste. And so she created the Haakaa. The goal of the Haakaa is literally to sit on your breast and to catch that letdown. So that very fast flowing milk that sort of occurs at the beginning of your feeding session. That's great. Put that Haakaa on, collect that letdown, store it for later. I would encourage you, though, not to use that Haakaa as a pump, at least not in the early weeks of your baby's life, because you can adjust the suction so strong that it really can drain your breast. Early weeks of your baby's life, your baby really needs to be offered both breasts every feeding. Feed your baby, not your freezer. If your baby's latching well and nursing well, 8 to 12 times in 24 hours and pooping and peeing and gaining weight, honestly wouldn't do much of anything with a pump in the early weeks. Keep it very simple, keep it very easy.